Hi guys, let's start a new question. We finished question 16 in the previous video. Let's start question 17. It says a rectangle, one diagonal is 6. So let me just draw a rough diagram. This is a rectangle. A, B, C and D. Base angles are, all angles are 90. Perfect. One diagonal is 6 centimeter. And the acute angle between diagonals, which means there's a second diagonal as well, and the acute angle between them is 45 degree. So we know this property of a rectangle, that diagonals bisect each other, which means, and the diagonals are equal, which means all four part, which is OA, OB, OC and OD are equal, and they are half the diagonal, which means they are 3 centimeter in length. So let's write, since diagonals of a rectangle are equal and bisect each other, therefore OA is equal to OB is equal to OC is equal to OD is equal to 3 centimeter. So now let's see how will we construct this. I think we've done a construction like this when we were doing parallelogram. So only the length of a diagonal is given. So let's start with the diagonal. So let me draw a diagonal AC, which is of 6 centimeter. I will need to find point O, so which is perpendicular bisector. I'll find point O. Once I find point O, I need to make the second diagonal, which is BD. Now how do I make BD? It is making an angle of 45 degrees. So this is 90 degree. I bisect it here and I will get my second diagonal like this. So somewhere here is B, somewhere here is D. How do I find B? The distance between O and B is 3 units. So this is, I cut here, this gives me D. And now I join A, B, C and D. Now that I've learned how to draw it, let's go ahead and construct it. So we are doing question number 17. Let's go. So the first thing we do, let me just draw a rough diagram to make my life simple. A, B, C and D, and this is it. This is O. So let me first start with constructing a line of length, which is my diagonal of 6 centimeter. So let me just construct a diagonal of length 6 centimeter. I'm calling this A and C. Perfect. In fact, I'll write this later. Perfect. Let me just redraw it. I will do the writing later. Perfect. So this is 6 units. Perfect. Now I need to find the midpoint. So how do I find the midpoint? Well, let me do a perpendicular bisector. Let me open it slightly more than half. Yes, this is clearly more than half. I make a arc on this side with the same radius, as in with the same span. Perfect. I make an arc on the other side. I pick up the compass, keep it on the other side of the length and cut the first arc here, and the arc on the top as well I cut somewhere here. I think I left it slightly shorter. I will have to increase the length of my first arc. So let's do that now. Yes, now that I've got this, I have got my middle point, which is my point O. Now since this is not required, I will have to join using a dotted line. So dotted line would mean I have to draw a dotted line using a scale. I think almost done. Yes, almost done. I will join using a dotted line. Perfect. Perfect. I will mark this as 90 degree and I am giving this point name O. Next step is that I need to make the second diagonal, the length of which is again 6 centimeter. But before I make the 6 centimeter, the other thing I know is that it's making an angle of 45 degree with my first diagonal. So I will have to bisect this 90 degree that I have. Now let me just draw to bisect I have to draw a semicircle. So let me start drawing a semicircle. Perfect. So let me draw a semicircle, and to bisect it I will pick it up, keep it here on this point where it intersects, open my compass slightly more, and then somewhere in the middle I'll make a arc. This is somewhere I'll have my 45 degree. Keep it here and cut the first arc somewhere here. Perfect. So this is where this is where my these are the 2 points O, and the joining of this is where my second diagonal will pass from. Yes, so I have, what I have done till now is I have made perpendicular bisector to find the intersection point of the two diagonals, and then I have made the second diagonal by making an angle of 45 degree here. Now let me just draw the second diagonal, which will be somewhere, okay, I think I too long a line. This is a dotted line. Yes, I have drawn a dotted line. Let's call this yeah, so I've drawn a dotted line. This is where my, somewhere this is my, why do I need a dotted line here? Yeah, okay, because this is not, this is a diagonal which I don't need. Perfect. So next step is I need to measure 3 centimeter. Why 3? Because the total length of the diagonal is 6, and half of it is 3. So OB will be 3 units, and I cut this somewhere. Yeah. Perfect. So this gives me my point C, and keeping it at O, I cut it on the other side. So somewhere here. Done. I can remove this. I will have to join this line slightly more, because the point where it cut is not getting cut with my arc. Perfect. So let me just draw this here. Done. So this is the point which is point. So let's call this A. This was C. This is B. And this point is D. Let me join using a straight line. So this is AD. This is CD. This is AB. And this is BC. Perfect. And let me just mark that these are 90 degree. So these are our, so this is our required rectangle. Perfect. So let's move on to the next question. The next question that we do is question number 18. I will not be drawing this diagram. Let's just look at how to do this question. So this is again a rectangle, and the area is given as something and the base is given as something. We know the formula of area of a rectangle. Area is equal to length into breadth. Right? So in this diagram, this is the rectangle. This is given as 4.8 centimeter, and the area is 24 centimeter square. Therefore, 24 centimeter square, if I'm calling this 4.8 centimeter into breadth, which means breadth will be equal to 24 upon 4.8 centimeter, which is let's divide. So this is 240 upon 48, which is 1 and 5. So this is 5 centimeter. So then this is 4.8 and this is 5. Now that I've got both the dimensions, how do I construct it? This one's quite simple, exactly like the, and this is quite simple. So I construct this at 4.8, and I construct a 90 degree here somewhere on this. So let's call this A and B. Let's say this is A, B, C and D. So somewhere on this line lies my point D. How far is it from A? 5 centimeters. So I keep my compass here and cut for 5. So this is 5 centimeter. This gives me my D. Next, I need a 90-degree line here, so I construct it again. This is my 90-degree line. And now somewhere on this line, let's call this X, let's call this Y. Somewhere on BY lies C. How far from B? 5 centimeters. So I cut it here at C and then I join. So this is the simple one, though I will not do the construction for this one. Let's move on to the next question. The next question that we do is a trapezium. So before we do the construction, let's revise properties of a trapezium. So one pair of opposite sides is parallel. Perfect. So only one pair of opposite sides is parallel. This is usual diagram for a trapezium. This side and this side are parallel. Let's call this A, B, C, D. That's about it. So this is the only property that we know of trapezium. And then we have another special type of trapezium, which is an isosceles trapezium, but we are not talking about it right now. Right? So this is the only property we know. One pair of opposite sides is parallel. So let's look at this question. AB is given as 4.8, BC is equal to 6.8, CD is equal to 5.4, angle B is 60 degree, and AD is parallel to BC. Oh, so then maybe I will need to, so then this is a wrong diagram, because AD is parallel to BC. In this diagram I have taken AB parallel to CD. So let me just cancel this. This is a wrong rough diagram. Let me draw the rough diagram again with AD parallel to BC. So this is A, B, C and D. AD parallel to BC. Angle B is given as 60 degree. AB is given as 4.8 centimeter. BC is given as 6.8 centimeter. CD is given as 5.4 centimeter. Perfect. So let's look at how will we construct. We will need to revise one more property, which is sum of two interior angles in a parallel line. In a parallel line cut by a transversal. Do you remember it? So in case we have let me just draw a diagram. If this is a pair of parallel lines and this is a transversal, this is the co-interior angle. What is the sum of this co-interior angle? Yes, the sum of co-interior angle is 180. So now let's look at this. So AD is parallel to BC. So this is AD theoretically and this is BC. This angle is 60 degree. This is BC. This is 60 degrees. So how much is this angle? Yes, so this angle is 120 degree because the sum of these two angles will have to be 180 degrees. So this angle is 120 degree. Perfect. So now let's look at how will we do this construction. Before that we'll need to write, since sum of co-interior angle, since sum of, let me just erase something, there's too much here, right? Let me just erase this here. It'll help me write something, because writing that will be mandatory, because why are you constructing 120 degree, you need to know. Perfect. So let's start writing. Since sum of co-interior angle is 180 degree, therefore angle A is equal to 120 degree. So now let's do this construction. How will we construct? First we will do BC, done, at which I'll make an angle of 60 degree, done. I need to find A. Well, I know that A is 4.8 centimeter away, so I'll cut it from B. This will be A, 4.8 centimeter. I know that angle A is 120 degrees, so at here I'll make an angle of 120 degree, something like this. And now I know that D is 5.4 centimeter away, so from here I'll cut 5.4 centimeter and this will give me D. Now let's do the construction. So I'm on question number 20. Perfect. The rough diagram was something like this. And so A, B, This was 60, C and D. This was 120. And BC length is given equal to 6.8. This was 4.8 and this is 5.4. Yes, this is 5.4. So let me start by constructing BC, a length of 6.8. So I start from here and I construct a length of 6.8. Done. At B I need to, so let me just write, this is B and this is C. This is 6.8 centimeter. At B I need a 60-degree angle, so I make a small semicircle from B. Perfect. Without changing the span, I keep it at the point where it intersects BC and I cut a arc. So this is my 60-degree line, and then now that I've got my 60-degree angle, I make a straight line joining this and the 60-degree angle. So here is my line. Perfect. Let's give this name X. So somewhere on BX lies point A. How far is it from B? 4.8 centimeters. So let me just measure 4.8 centimeter. Let me just measure 4.8 centimeter and cut the arc. So this is 4.8. Done. So I put it at B and cut an arc of 4.8 centimeter. Done. So this is my point A. I've got my point A and this length is 4.8 centimeter. Perfect. Now I know that angle A is 120 degrees, so I will have to make an angle of 120 degree here, for which I will need to create a semicircle. So let me first draw a semicircle so that I can make an wrong side here. Done. Without changing the span, I pick it up and I cut 60 degree here and I keep it at the 60 degree point and I cut 120 degree here. Perfect. In fact, my 60 degree point is not proper. Let me just increase the size slightly. Done. So I've got a 60 degree, I've got a 120 degree. Now that I've got it, I will need to find point B somewhere. So let me just join this with the 120 degree line. So somewhere on this line, let's name this AY, lies D. How far is it from C? I said we need two coordinates. It's on this line, but how far is it from C? It's 5.4 centimeter away. So let me just measure 5.4 centimeter and cut an arc from C. Here I need to measure 5.4. So this is 5.4 and I will put it here and cut an arc. Now should I cut an arc here or should I cut an arc somewhere here? Well, here it will not make any sense. So here is where I cut an arc, which means I've made a mistake. My line should have been bigger. Anyway, I will try and increase it now. Yes, now that I've got a line, so this is my point D, and I join C and D. Perfect. So this is my trapezium. This side and this side are parallel, and this is 5.4 centimeter. Perfect. Let's look at the next question. Question number 21. And you can, yeah, let's look at question 21. So question 21 says, again, this is a trapezium and certain dimensions are given. AB is equal to CD is equal to 3.2, and again AD is parallel to BC. So this is AD parallel to BC, A, B, C and D. AD parallel to BC, AB is equal to CD is equal to 3.2. Yes, this is a specific kind of a trapezium, which is a isosceles trapezium. BC is given as 6, AD is given as 4.4. Now how do I figure out how to draw this? So remember, this question requires a small trick which you need to pay perfect attention right now. So let's see how will I be able to draw. Let's say I start with BC. I will be able to get BC as 6. Next, I need to find A and I need to find D. I have nothing here. The only coordinate I know about A is that it's 3.2 from B, which means if I make an arc, it can lie anywhere here. Similarly, if I make an arc of 3.2 from C, my point D can lie anywhere on this arc. So how do I move on? So this is where we'll need to do a small trick. Let's say if I take, this is 4.4, so if I take a line, if I mark 4.4 here, so if this is 4.4, the remaining here will be 1.6 because the total is 6, and I join this. What will this make? One set of opposite sides is equal and parallel. So now what does, let's give it this name E. What does ABED become? ABED. It has one pair of opposite sides equal and parallel. Now what is ABD, quadrilateral ABED now? Yes, it's a parallelogram, because in a parallelogram, if you get one set of opposite sides equal and parallel, it basically means that the other set of opposite sides is also parallel and equal, which means ABED is a parallelogram. So what will be the length of ED? It will be 3.2 centimeter. Now using this property, let's see if I can do this construction. So let's say if from B I mark E, which is at a length of 4.4 centimeter. Now will I be able to find point D? Yes, I will be, because D is 3.2 from E and 3.2 from C. So this will give me my point D, and now I need to find point A, which is 4.4 from D and 3.2 from A. Sorry, 3.2 from B. So now I will be able to get my trapezium, and this is 3.2, this is 3.2, this is 3.2, and this is 4.4. Perfect. Now let's do the construction. So this is question number 21. A rough diagram for my help. This is it. This is E, and this was B, C, D, A. This is 3.2, 3.2, 3.2. This is 6. This is 4.4, and this is 4.4. Perfect. So let me start by constructing BC of a length 6 centimeter. Perfect. So this is, I start constructing BC of length 6 centimeter, post which I need to find point E. Now point E is at a distance of 4.4 from B. So I measure 4.4 and I cut an arc. Should I use a scale and just put a point there? No, all constructions have to be done using a compass and a scale. So using a compass directly or scale directly, not allowed. So let me just cut this here. This gives me my point E. This is E, this is 4.4, this is B, and this is C. Now I need to find point D, which is at a distance of 3.2 from both E and C. So let me measure 3.2 and I will keep it at B and cut an arc somewhere here. So this is where I cut an arc. I keep it at C and I cut the first arc in a manner to find my point D. So this is my point D. I join D with C and I join E with D using dotted lines because this point is not required. This line is not the outside boundary line. This is a reference line that we've created for our convenience. This is really a pain for me to draw, to use the scale like this. Anyway, but thanks to them, I am able to do this construction online while the lockdown is there. Perfect. One last small change. Perfect. So let me just draw this here. Done. And now I need to find point A. How do I find point A? Well, A is 4.4 from B and 3.2 from D. I think I already have 3.2 with me, right? This is 3.2. Yes, so I keep it at B and cut an arc of 3.2 centimeter somewhere here. Perfect. And then the next one I need is 4.4. So I keep it at, before I do that, I need to measure 4.4. This is 4.4. I keep it at D and cut an arc of 4.4. Perfect. So this is point A for me, which is at a distance of 3.2 from B and 4.4 from D. Perfect. Let me just write this. This is parallel to this. This is 3.2 centimeter. This is 4.4 centimeter. This is 3.2 centimeter. And this is also 3.2 centimeter. Perfect. That finishes this video. Before I leave, let me just mark your homework questions. These are your homework questions. Question 2, 3, 6, 11, 14 and 19. Thank you. Take care. I'll see you with the next video. Meanwhile, take care. Be safe. See you. Bye-bye.